coming at you for Angels Whisper. We're going to do our reading, and I'm in a beautiful place. I'm in a community called Harveston Communities. This is Harveston Lake. My girlfriend Caroline lives here, and I was actually with my kids for Mother's Day, and it got kind of late. I wanted to head up into the mountains. I wanted to go called Idlewild up here because I wanted to be in nature, and just started getting to be too late. My daughter said, "Go to Harveston, Mom, it's so beautiful." So I thought, yeah, you know what, I will. So here we are. We have several totems with us right now. We've got the goose totem. They're everywhere. They've been waddling around, and I actually was given the most beautiful feather. I'll show you in a minute. But the goose totem speaks about, first of all, they're vegetarians. So it talks about pay attention to your diet and make sure you're getting enough vegetables. They're also, goose people have the innate feeling that there is a soulmate, one particular soulmate in their life. So it talks about a soulmate relationship. They also speak about, they're community birds as well. So it talks about working as part of a team. They also are, you think about Mother Goose and fairy tales, childhood tales. So it talks about going back into your family history from when you were a child, things that happened when you were a child, and how are they affecting you in your life now? Are there lessons that you have had to learn and to change, and maybe your perspective on things and grow from? Whatever it is, it's talking about bringing these lessons into the now and understanding what it is that you were supposed to learn from this. Duck totem speaks about community as well, being part of a community, being a team player. There's a lot of community discussion right now. Ducks talk about drawing comfort from your family, which is very apropos since it's Mother's Day today. So many of us are remembering our mothers and what our mothers have gone through for us, and also the fathers who are acting as mothers, what they have gone through. And my mother raised me, my grandmother, my brother raised me for the first part of my life with no father. So I raised my kids without their father around. So that was it's a challenge. So it's about giving respect and honor to that, and also tap yourself on the back and say, good job, well done. So it's talking about drawing comfort and love from your family, being a team player. They all soar above the water. So it talks about soaring above the waters of life. We had a seagull that just flew by. I don't know if he'll come flying by again, but that also speaks about, soaring above your troubles, flying over the waters of life, taking a higher perspective and not getting caught. There he is right there. So being able to go with the flow and go with the wind and allow it to carry you where you're meant to go, and don't get, rise up above and see things. Look at that from a higher perspective. Look how beautiful they are. Oh, birds. What would you like to do, Sherry, if you could? Fly. How fun is that? Love that. And this is a little mud hen, and right now I can't think of what the mud hen message is. So I'm going to look up that for later. But the loons are in here as well, and the loon speaks about pay attention to your dreams. You've got messages coming in your dreams. So do pay attention to what you're getting at this time. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this with the wind, and I'm already having challenges, so let's bear with me. Today we're going to be working with the wisdom of the Golden Path, which is Tony Carmine Salerno. These are beautiful cards. They don't have a lot of detail, but I know what the messages are speaking of. This one is talking about, I'll let you look at it. It's talking about balance. I am balance. And you see her, and she's bending over backwards. So what's coming into she's trying to find her balance. So it's talking about things that might be out of balance in the way you've been viewing yourself, the way you've been possibly thinking about things about yourself. You've been hard on yourself. Maybe there are things that you don't like about yourself, things that you've been told since you were a child. Like for me, you talk too much, you're too active, you're too outgoing, you're too aggressive, too, everything, right? So this is talking about understanding that there is good to every aspect that you might find in yourself that you think is wrong, or perhaps that you were even told since you were a child that was wrong. Things that maybe you were ashamed of or you're embarrassed. I used to get embarrassed, we'd be driving in the car and I'd get so excited, and I'd see like a hawk or an eagle, something fly by. I lived in Canada, so we were always in nature, and I'd be like, oh look, and my poor dad's driving in the car, almost has a car, you know, an accident because I scream in the back seat, and he's like, Sherry, hush. And I would get so embarrassed, you know. Why was it always me? It was always me. And yet now I've learned that my outspokenness is being used for my path, right? If I was shy and retiring, I wouldn't be doing these weekly readings. I wouldn't be able to come forward and speak in front of people. So I've learned that the things that I was told about myself that were negatives and that I've always been embarrassed about, because, you know, we're hardest on ourselves. We already know, you know, we don't need to have somebody tell us, you know, the qualities that we could be, we have challenges with. My challenge is that I talk too much. I literally was, my desk was in the cloakroom when I was a little girl in elementary school. It was in the cloakroom. And then I got my desk put out in the hallway, and the teacher would say to my mom, you know, she's a great little kid. She's happy and she's so positive and joyful, but she doesn't stop talking. So these are things that I've had to deal with, and so we need to recognize that everything about ourselves are, even if we consider it a negative, there's a positive side to it. But it's about finding balance, right? So all of our lives we have to struggle to find to come to the balance. But it's about not rejecting aspects of ourselves. It's about loving, you know, every aspect of ourselves. Even if we have been shown or told that perhaps this is something that somebody else doesn't like. You know, I'm very different than my family. My mother was very calm, my brother was very calm, everybody was very calm. My grandmother and I were the Aries, you know, we were the outgoing, you know, warriors, you know, adventurers, and I don't know, now I embrace that. Now I think it's awesome. But I had a hard time with it my whole life, you know, and so it's like, stop hating yourself, start embracing the wonderful aspects of yourself, and realize that the quiet ones, they're the dreamers, and we're the goers, and we're the ones that get stuff done. So, you know, in the aspect, if you're the opposite, if you're one that isn't outgoing and you're more introspective and you're shy, you know, you're gentle and you're loving, and people are able to feel comfortable and safe with you. So there's wonderful things about everybody. And we're supposed to understand that there's nothing that we need to do to improve ourselves. We just need to improve our attitude about ourselves and our perspective, and love ourselves as we are. There's really nothing to change about ourselves. An affirmation that we could say, I love and accept all of me. You know, I love and accept the world as it is, because it's also talking about being accepting of others, you know, and so many people judge others because they're different. You know, there's how boring would the world be if everybody was exactly the same? You know, we need to be different. We need to have our variety. That's the whole spice to the world, you know, makes the world go round, is the variety of life, you know? So there's nothing to change, there's just love. So look at everybody through a loving perspective. I'm gonna let you guys look around while I try and flip through and get the next card without it blowing into the drink here. Let you take a peek. See if we can see any of our other totems come up. I have seen red slider turtles, really big ones, but they haven't popped up again. I guess because it's kind of wind whipped right now. So anyway, our next message is spring. Now take a look at this. This girl, she has a nest. Can you see this? I hope I'm doing this right. Can you see that? It's like this. She has a nest in her hair, and there's eggs in it. So that talks about new beginnings to relationships, new beginnings to projects, new beginnings all the way around. She also has, you probably can't see it, but there's a ladybug in her hair. That talks about wishes being fulfilled. And you can see on this branch here, there's a grasshopper here, down below. And there's also what looks to me like a praying mantis. So the praying mantis talks about being patient, knowing when to strike, knowing when to be still. The grasshopper talks about, and there's the grasshoppers down here, talks about giant leaps forward. But she looks a little trepidatious. She looks worried. It's very dark here. You know, there's like kind of bare branches. And what she doesn't realize is that there's new sprouts on all of these leaves. So basically what they're telling us is that you might have been experiencing a kind of a dark, gloomy time of your life where you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, things have been really difficult for you. And you're kind of like in kind of a sad spot or a concerned spot. And what they're trying to say is that you can't really see this, but there's a new season has begun. And things have already started to unfold. And you may not see what's going on beneath the surface, but there are things that are going on. And out of the darkness, light is about to shine. Things are progressing, whether we understand or realize it or not. And sunlight's about to burst through, and the buds are going to burst through. Everything is about to come to life. Spring always follows winter. You know, the rainbow comes after the storm. Everything is about to blossom and come to life. So it's talking about allowing things to naturally progress and not be too worried. I think I'll bring up the other totem that I don't see him right now. I'll let you look around. What I see out there, and I can't get a glimpse of him for you guys right now, I'm sorry, I wish I could, is the slider turtle, big turtles. And basically what they're talking about with turtle, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna see if I can see one of them. Oh, there's one right there. He's probably gonna poke his head back in. See him right there? Okay, I think you saw him. Okay, so the turtle talks about knowing when to retreat, knowing when to protect yourselves, knowing when to go back into your shell, and knowing when to venture out again, right? So this, and it talks about slowing down the pace of your life and going at a more like a turtle's pace. Take it slower. It isn't necessary always to forge ahead and be the aggressor, and maybe this is a time to pull back and retreat, maybe in a situation in your life. Maybe it's a time to go within and get your answers from inside, because your answers are not outside, they're inside of yourself. It talks about, I'm getting another message that's just coming. You know how the turtle carries his home on his back. So it talks about being resilient and basically being able to make a home wherever you are. I also get that message. That just comes to me personally. I'm a bit of a gypsy. So it talks about that. It talks about being that it's a water animal that goes under the water. It talks about going into your emotions, pulling into your emotions. Oh, look, he popped right up right in front of us. So basically, because he's doing this, the message really seems to me is knowing when to pop up and show your head again, and knowing when to retreat. See how when things get a little bit funky for him, he pulls back down, and then he kind of cruises along and he waits, and then he thinks, okay, now I'll pick my head up just a little bit, just to see if maybe now's the time for me to speak, or now's the time for me to move forward. That's the message from Turtle. And I think that came up, I'm trying to think of what I was thinking about this girl. Basically, just when to move forward. So maybe we're in a space at this time where she thinks that, nothing's happening, and concerned that things aren't happening or moving along as quickly as she wants. But it's about a cycle, about there's a time to be slow, there's a time to move forward, there's a time to pull back and listen, and there's a time to forge ahead. So that's the message from spring. And also an affirmation that we could use for this one is, everything I experience makes me wiser and stronger, or the light of love always fills my heart, or I honor the seasons of life and I see the beauty in every season, which I do. Every season we have has got something incredible to offer us, doesn't it? This is just incredible. It doesn't matter where I live, I always end up in the most amazing places. And you know what? It's not even so much that the places are so incredible, is that there's always something that you can find that's beautiful. You can always find an area that's beautiful. I just drove, and my daughter, this was her idea. Good for you, Lacey. Thank you for telling me. Because I was literally going to drive like an hour and a half to get to the mountain town, and by the time I got up there, it probably wouldn't have been a lot for us to see. But to come here, it's right. So basically, I think what I'm getting to is, you know what? For people who are being asked by Spirit to retreat into nature, because it's always such a very positive place for you to go, to get grounded. Like, I've got my feet on the ground. This is about getting grounded and getting connected to the earth. My son-in-law was talking to me about that. He goes, do you know it's a scientific thing that, he goes, I think it's a Chinese thing. He says that if you're feeling unsettled, you're supposed to go outside and walk on the ground. And I laughed and I said, yeah, that's what I teach. And he says, well, and then my daughter laughs and she says, well, if it's scientific, he'll believe it. So, energy. Anyway, so I'm here I am, getting grounded with my feet on the ground and outside in nature. So the message is, look in your own town. There's places everywhere. You can always find somewhere. You don't have to have a beautiful, boarded lake with weeping willows and fountains and paddle boats to make this fun. When I was a little kid, heck, when I was in Wisconsin, I jumped on my bike and I rode from Sturgeon Bay to a town called Algoma, and I drove along the Hanatchepy Trail, I think it was called, and I found like little little bits of water with, and everywhere I went, I saw turtles and sliders and all these other animals. So go looking for somewhere. Go look for something to connect to that's beautiful. There's beauty in nature anywhere you live. Anywhere you live, you can find something. I dare you to go outside and find something wonderful. Okay, now I'm going to go to our next card, and our next card is called New Beginning. I hope that you can see this one as well. So here she's dancing, and she's swirling around, and there's blue flowers all in her, the ribbons all around her. So it's talking about we're at the new beginning of a new phase of our life. It goes along with, the first we were to go into our, the way we felt about ourselves, right? We were supposed to think about what was it that we're being too hard on ourselves and learn to love and accept all of who we are. And then we were told, look, we're at a place that perhaps, we're not quite sure what's going on, and it seems kind of dark and gloomy, and it's getting, it's just been really difficult, and I'm just pushing uphill the whole time. But they were showing us that there were spring buds coming, and something was about to burst. Well, now here we have a new beginning. So now this is the promise, and this is what's coming. We've got new stuff happening. So we could have new jobs happening. We could have all kinds of, over the next couple of weeks to, I'd say days and weeks, because it's, our readings are pretty accurate for time periods. We're going to start feeling a renewed sense of purpose. We're going to start understanding serendipitous events are going to start coming to us. So we'll have what we will, if you think of as coincidences, they're not coincidence. It's serendipity. These are synchronistic events that Spirit is bringing to us. And through a series of these synchronistic events, we're going to be exploring new places. We're going to be exploring new ideas. Options and possibilities are going to be coming up into our life that we didn't even know were there for us. We're going to learn that we have just to let go of the past. We understand that with the changes in our life, we can't do anything to stop the changes that are happening. You can't stop spring, summer, winter, fall. It all spins around, right? Spring, summer, fall, winter. I did it backwards. But you're not going to change the order of it, and you're not going to stop it from happening. So it's like learn to go with the flow, just like we saw with the seagulls flying above. Go with the flow of life and go with the changes. Soar above and see the opportunities presenting themselves to you. Let go of the past. It's behind you. We're into spring now, so winter's over. There's no point in going too far back, and there's no point in going too far ahead. Just kind of be where we are right now and look forward to what's coming to us. An affirmation that you could say would be, I am one with life's eternal flow. I invite all that is new and exciting into my life, and I embrace it with open arms. Heck yeah. My life is full of endless possibilities. I see the endless possibilities in front of me. I envision that. So they want you to do that. They want you to pay attention to, your daydreams and do long-term daydream plans, and imagine what could be. Say to yourself, this would be wonderful. Wouldn't that be wonderful if? It would be wonderful if. Just think of all the possibilities and get those positive things in your mind. Don't be thinking about the negative things about what if. Think about all of the positives and all the what's open to you and what could come to you. I accept and I'm grateful for the blessings that I receive each day. This morning, I woke up and I was in that kind of place, that kind of gloomy, this has been a long time. When's it coming? This is uphill for quite a while. I just kind of woke up in a funk this morning. And so I literally, as I got up and I started working with I was making my bed, and I just started saying all the things I was grateful for. I looked at my cat and I said, I'm grateful for Liger. I'm grateful for the relationship with my daughter. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for music and that I can hear it. I'm grateful that I can sing. I'm grateful for my bed. It's so comfortable and I love these pillows. And I'm grateful for, and I looked up and I saw a hummingbird outside. I'm grateful that I hung that hummingbird feeder right there at my window so that I could see that hummingbird today that talks about accomplishing what seems impossible, because that's where I'm at right now. And I just kept going and going and going. And the more that I said what I was grateful for, the better I felt. So it talks about doing that. Spirit's saying, when you're feeling down or negative, start listing all the things that you're positive about. Keep your mind off of what's negative and start focusing on all that you have to be grateful for. You have a lot to be grateful for. I am sitting in the most beautiful place underneath weeping willows with a perfectly blue sky day, and it's windy and it's beautiful, and I've got duck totems and I've got geese totems and I've got seagull totems and I've got red slider turtles that are ginormous popping their little heads out, all giving me messages, all giving me encouragement. I'm watching families with their children, and everybody's out having a good time, and instead of sitting here and saying, geez, I'd like to be sitting there with my boyfriend. I'd like to be sitting there with, you know, blah, blah, blah. I am sitting here on this little nest, and I was given the most beautiful feather. I'm going to find it. Here, I'm going to let you look around while I look for it. Look around. I hope I didn't lose my feather. There it is. Look at this feather I was given. Look at the colors. You see the purple and the green? Wonder if you can see it here. Can you see it? It's incredible. I love my messengers, my animal messengers. I love the gifts that I'm given. This is gonna go home. Can you see the colors? I wonder if I can go like this in the light, because I can't see when I shine it on you. Can you see the colors? Let's see. It's so beautiful. There it is, look, see? It's like a peacock. It's so beautiful. I don't know who has this feather. I don't know who gave me this feather. It must have been one of them. Yes, because they've got green heads and they've got purple in their tails. How beautiful they are. Thank you. So I've got this beautiful gift. So here I am. I don't feel sad that I'm sitting here by myself. I feel very grateful that I have all of this around here. Besides, I'm talking to all of you guys, right? So those are our messages for today. Happy Mother's Day again, like I said, and for all the dads who are acting as mom, happy Mother's Day to you as well. I hope you're enjoying your days. I hope that you are, and if you don't have family to be with, you can do what I did. You can go out and find yourself somewhere fun to go. So if you'd like to follow me, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Google+, I'm on Angels Whisper Sherry Columbus, I'm on Sherry Columbus Angels Whisper. My videos are all on YouTube. If you want to subscribe, you'll get a notification when these videos come up, so you don't have to look for them. So feel free to subscribe. I'm available on my website. It's www.thewhispersofangels.com. And I do readings and do as well as dream analysis. I've been doing quite a bit of that. I do have 2 people right now, yes, that I haven't even responded to you yet. I've been out with my daughter, but I did get the notice. The dream analysis, Sally, and the other reading I'm going to get to as well. I'll get in touch with you. I normally will answer you right away when you reach out to me. If you go to my website, you can go to contact, and it'll lead you to my PayPal. After you've chosen the type of reading or the dream analysis that you want, it'll take you to my PayPal, and then I'll be notified. And then I generally always answer immediately, and then we can hook up to either do a phone reading or an emailed reading, whichever is your choice. I'm very prompt about that. And like I said, you will take precedence over my online work on Keen. My private readings are the most important to me. So you guys have a very wonderful day. Thank you for bearing with the wind and the movement around, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for tuning in. We'll speak again. Blessings.